time, the United States
My name is Billy Mills. My Lakota name would be Ta Makosha Tekahila, which means loves your country, or more traditionally respects the earth. But Billy Mills, I was born in Pine Ridge, South Dakota, and enjoying some beautiful California weather now.
Wow. So what part of California do you reside in currently?
We live in Fair Oaks, California, which actually is about 20 miles from downtown Sacramento, the capital of California.
Wow. So are you a big basketball fan? Do you cheer for the Kings over there? Or are you who do you cheer for over there?
The we were members of we had season tickets right on just past the free throw line, about 6 seats up from the court. And when they traded PJ Slakovich, we sold our tickets.
Wow, what a great time. So for the first question I have for you today is actually comes from your recent book that's going to be coming out, Wings of an Eagle. Can you just tell us like a brief intro and story and how that came about?
Yes, I believe it was around 2015. A writer, author Donna Bowman, was doing another children's book, and she said she became aware of me. She started doing extensive study of the Lakota culture, or the Lakota history, I should say, and of me. And then a few years later, 2019 or so, she contacted Patricia, my wife, and said she'd be interested, would love to be able to do a book on Billy. We were not able to get together until just, I think, January 2020 or 2019. January, we were not able to get together until right before the pandemic. And I was not prepared for the knowledge this lady had of me and of the history. So as we talked, I was just going to meet her and talk. She came to our home from Texas, and Pat and I both would look at each other, and we were getting so inspired by the energy among all of us, the energy she brought, the energy I knew she was feeling as I would tell my story about Billy, the Olympic story, and she would start putting it into history, Native American history, Lakota history. I was so touched. I knew after 3 hours of communicating that this is the lady I wanted to tell my story. Now I'm going to tell you what my vision was. She had hers, and it fit beautifully into mine, although they were not really similar. She wanted to tell the story of Billy. But I traveling throughout the Olympic Games, going to the games, Oliver Red Cloud from Pine Ridge told me I should, coming from the heart of everything that is the Black Hills, I should humble myself to honor my family, my Lakota Nation, my tribe, and that we are all related. The young people I would meet, that we are all related. Flying into Tokyo, I saw Mount Fuji. It was, oh my gosh, this has to be the heart of everything that is to the Japanese. And I read a book within the Olympic Village based upon the first survivor that they became aware of on the day of the first atomic bomb being dropped. It was actually a young child just being born an hour before the atomic bomb was dropped. And he grew into adulthood, and he opened the torch, lit the torch so the world would never forget. So they wanted the young people in Japan to see those born on the day of the atomic bomb being dropped to the opening ceremonies, to see the world as one. And that fit perfectly with my feelings of we are all related. So I took global unity through the dignity, character, beauty of global diversity as my theme that I would pursue the rest of my life. And I saw an incredible opportunity with Donna Bowman, her knowledge, that we could actually put the theme of unity, with the dignity, character, beauty of diversity into a children's book at a level that they could start understanding, and then the capabilities of doing higher research just from the book.
Wow, what a magnificent story. I'm sure you have like thousands of stories from being there. What can you describe the atmosphere of showing up into the Olympics?
The atmosphere that I felt, oh my gosh, walking into the Olympic ceremony and the other athletes and seeing the crowd, the diversity was overpowering, and it was made me realize that the extent of the dreams that I wanted could come true. I wanted to make the Olympic team. I wanted Olympic gold medal. I wanted to be ranked number one in the world, and I wanted a world record. And it was just setting my dreams, just as a young Lakota boy growing into manhood, that my dreams could come true. But most powerfully was seeing some of the elderly Japanese people, how they would bow to honor the guests from throughout the world, to respect them, to honor them. And the games were put on by the United States Marine Corps, in a sense. The games were put on by Japan, but the United States Marine Corps did so much of the games organizing and helping do the work at the games. And I was a young lieutenant, and I was overwhelmed with emotion as the Japanese people would show respect to me. And I put that feeling into my childhood growing up. I was born 70 years after my grandfather lived as a hunter and gatherer. I was born 70 years after the 1868 treaty. And it was just overwhelming uh, when Crazy Horse surrendered, walking in with Crazy Horse, of course, in full regalia. When Crazy Horse surrendered in full regalia, riding in was Crazy Horse and some of his leaders with the US military, 300 warriors, then men, women, and children, then the supply train. Walking in with the men, women, and children was my great grandmother with her 5 children, one of them, my grandfather. So, born in 1938, just 70 years after that experience. And I would see the elders on the reservation bow, or not bow, but just maybe with respect, looking down before they would shake the hand of some official from Washington, D.C. And seeing the Japanese do that to me just brought pain inside of me, because I knew the hurt they had to feel inside. I knew how they were doing that also to honor their own culture, their own traditions, their spirituality. And I paralleled that to some extent with the elders I saw on the reservation, uh, showing respect to US government officials, knowing treaties were broken, knowing so many violations were being displayed by what is this incredible country. And yet, I'm just my words now. I felt maybe they were grasping maybe Sitting Bull's words. We'll take the best of both worlds and build a new world for our young people.
Mm.
So I was just mixing our culture with their culture, and both affected by the United States of America. And I was an officer representing the United States. So my heart and soul went into the sport realm of it. and took global unity, local unity, national unity, to the dignity, character, beauty of the diversity that it offers us, and took that we're all related.
Wow, what a beautiful way of segueing the two. And what was it like bringing home the gold back to the reservation? And describe your life after winning gold. How, post gold medal, what was it like for you?
I would have to share it in a humorous way first. A couple of years after I went home with the gold medal, Barney Coyote, a great leader among the Crow, who was introducing me at a powwow in Montana, in Crow country. So Barney said the Oglalas were so proud of Billy. He brought his gold medal home. The first thing they tried to do was take it to have it bronzed. But aside from Barney's incredibly great humor, uh, when I went home, I I was honored, given my Lakota name, and that descended to Chief Red Cloud. Black Elk descended to Black Elk, man with the name of Under Baggage. Several of the elderly leaders danced my deeds while they drummed. Black Elk actually sang one of two songs that he wrote for me uh, that I counted coup in a peaceful sportsmanship way on the countries that participated in the Olympic Games, and that's when they gave me my Lakota name. To have the elders dance your deeds, that's words can't describe that. Just the depth and beauty of emotion comes out.
Mm, Very, yeah, I'm sure. And, my last couple questions I have for you today, because I want to be cautious of your time today. Um, I see you're a co-founder of the Running Strong for American Indian Youth. Can you explain to people what that foundation is all about?
When I left for the games, Oliver Redcout simply said, Billy, when you come back from the games, don't forget the culture. You must have your giveaway.
Mm.
And explained the significance of the giveaway to me. So moments before I started my final drive, I was going low blood sugar and faced health issues that shouldn't have put me there in contention to win the gold medal. And was trying, I was not able to close on them. And just a quick flashback, my junior year in college when I came so close to suicide and heard my dad's voice through energy underneath my skin, don't. And he would tell me that I had to follow a dream. It took a dream to heal broken souls. The dream takes you down a path and you find a passion in life. Develop the skills to equal that passion, bring them together, and magic happens. And one or two of the magical things you do just may be looked upon as a miracle. Create the magic, son. Well, I'm not able to catch them. And I look at a runner I'm passing, lapping. Clark Gamoudi had lapped the runner, and I'm 8 yards behind, and I saw an eagle on the singlet. And my dad used to say, you do these things, someday you'll have wings of an eagle. It was so powerful, wings of an eagle. I saw the eagle. I can win. Then I'm going to win, but I may not get to the finish line first. And what instigated that drive when I saw the eagle was on the verge of suicide 2-3 years earlier. I wrote down the dream to heal the broken soul. And that was gold medal at the Olympic Games, 10,000 meter run. And I'm going to win, but I may not get to the finish line first. did I contradict myself? Then I broke the tape. An official came up to me and said, new Olympic champion. And I had to find the German to tell him the eagle on his singlet. Had to find the German to tell him that the eagle on his singlet helped me win. I found the German. There is no eagle. It was simply a perception. So the official then said, is there anything we can do for you? I said, I want my wife. With the moment they said, where is she? And 75,000 people in the stadium. I said, she's 95 meters up the track. I said, she's 95 meters up the track, 14 seats up, 14 rows up. Hold on. I said, she's 95 meters up the track, 14 rows up, 3 seats in from the aisle. Within moments, they're not tapping her on the shoulder. Mrs. Mills, the new Olympic champion, requests his wife. She came to me, we hugged. I'm starting to get emotional, crying, and I said, I know what it meant. What meant? I'm gonna win, but I may not get to the finish line first, but I'm gonna try to get there first. I'm gonna win, Matt. I healed the broken soul. And in the process, coming up on 62 years later, I'm still the only person to win a gold medal in that event from the Western Hemisphere. So all of those feelings is what we tried to put in the book, Wings of an Eagle. And there's no way I should have been in that position. The doctors told me 13 months before the Olympic 10,000 meter run, before the Olympics, that I was diabetic, going low blood sugar. But it's not. I have what women usually get, insulinoma. Very few women get it. It's very rare, and extremely few men get it. And when I describe it, it's frightening. On my pancreas, possibly since high school, I've had a tumor. You get a tumor on your pancreas, in 6 months you're dead.
Mm.
This tumor with insulinoma, seldom, so infrequently would it become cancer, but it spews extra insulin, taking you high and low throughout the day. And it's almost impossible to overcome when you're going low. I was going low when I looked at the man's jersey and I saw the eagle. And my dad would say, son, you do these things, someday you can have wings of an eagle. It was simply, it was not there, but I needed that to be there so powerfully in my mind. I visualized it. Then when I saw the German athletes putting on their warm-up jackets, the eagle was on the back. So I wanted to take those moments, want to put them into the book. But if you've not seen the cover of the book, I don't know if you're able to see this here, but that's the Wings of an Eagle. And S.D. Nelson is Lakota. S.D. Nelson is an incredible illustrator of books. Donna Bowman in 2015 wanted S.D. Nelson to be the illustrator. But of course, the company, Hachette, and I'm not probably saying it correctly, but under them comes Little Brown. They had to do their own research. I wanted S.D. Nelson. They did their research and came back and said, the illustrator that fits the story you want to tell perfectly is S.D. Nelson. So he's the illustrator, and a lot of what we discussed here, in a sense, is in the book at a very young age, and will help the reader, I think, prepare his or her mind as a young child, or the parents reading the book with them, or the teacher, that the significance of national, local, global unity, that the dignity, character, and beauty of global diversity is the future of humankind if we choose. And in our Lakota way, we are all related.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. And my last question I have for you, you've been the talk of the whole station this whole month because we've had this interview planned, and everyone would they would drive me mad if I didn't ask you, what tips do you have for runners in your particular sport? They would be so upset if I didn't ask you this question.
I think what I would say to young runners, just use sport, or in this case, just use running, or more specifically, middle distance, the distance running. Use it as a catalyst. Make it fun, enjoy it, do the work, use it as a catalyst to possibly prepare you to help identify that passion you have in life. And very few, let's just take the 10,000-meter run. I had a world record in the 6 mile. I was ranked number 1 in the world, won the gold medal in the 10,000. Very, very few can achieve that. There are those that have done it many times, and they are the great, great distance runners throughout the world. I've reached the height of achievement in the 3 areas that we were judged in a sense. But that was my passion. So use sport, running, distance running, use it as a catalyst to find your passion. Participate in high school. If you get a scholarship to college, participate. Constantly reach within the depths of your capabilities to be the best you can be. And ultimately, you may leave that and you find another passion. You're becoming an attorney, or a medical doctor, or a journalist. Or there may be those few that say, I want to make my passion getting the gold medal, getting a world record, being ranked number 1 in the world. But I would not run track as a young child, assuming that's what's going to happen. Use it for fun. Use it for a positive, creative activity. And as you get older, you might start putting it in a category. I want to get a scholarship to college. I want to turn pro after college. Or you become the school teacher. But whatever you do, I'll say this. Be truthful with yourself. And by that I mean, Lakota, when I was a young child, I learned the difference between honesty and truth. And you see American people running for office, confusing the two, or misusing the two. Honesty is you express your emotions and feelings through words honestly, even though they may not be the truth. Listen to some of the leaders. They will express their words and feelings through words honestly to deceive you. So to all of our youth, learn our virtues and values. Truth is an accurate expression of our feelings and our emotions we want to express through words honestly. So truth, not honesty, in analyzing who you are, what you want to achieve in life, what's truly a passion, what's something of interest, what's right or wrong.
10,000-meter event, the first time the United States has ever won this event. Willie Mills has just won. We have on our clock 28 minutes.